Hello friends, so today's video is about a very interesting fact that I noticed between India's 2011 World Cup win and Australia's 2023 World Cup win. So I am going to discuss this interesting fact that I have noticed with you guys. So let's begin the video. So what I noticed that the innings of Travis Head in the final was very similar to the innings of Gautam Gambhir in India's 2011 final. After that, when I started analyzing, I noticed that there are striking similarities between the 2011 World Cup and 2023 World Cup. The winning side basically. So the Indian team in 2011 and Australian team in 2023. So I'm going to take you one by one. Even the match, how it progressed was pretty much similar. If you see, India in 2011 scored 207, was chasing 270 runs, and Australia in 2023 was chasing something about 240 runs. Which, if you think Mumbai pitch and Ahmedabad pitch, they are pretty much a similar type of a score. And then while chasing, India chased it with almost like 4 wickets down, and at the end Australia were also 4 wickets down. India lost Gautam Gambhir right at the end, and Australia lost Travis Head right at the end. In the starting, India were around 100 for 3, and Australia were also like 50 60 for 3 in the starting, and then a big partnership came. Similarly, in India's 2011 a big partnership came after Virat Kohli's wicket between Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Gautam Gambhir, and here it came between Travis Head and Manas Labuschagne. Now I'll go one by one with the players, like which are the two players which were similar. Like if you compare, like Sachin Tendulkar's wicket was similar to something like Steven Smith's wicket. Virender Sehwag, if you see Virender Sehwag's wicket in the first over was like similar to David Warner's wicket in the the second over. Then if you see Gautam Gambhir and Travis Head, I already told like they were the top scorer in both the teams and played a similar sort of innings. Then if you see Mitchell Marsh's wicket was similar to Virat Kohli's wicket, after which the both the teams were 3 down for some initial part of the innings. MS Dhoni's innings was something similar to Manas Labuschagne's inning, although Mahendra Singh Dhoni's inning was quite more better than Labuschagne, but still it can be, like, if you are comparing, it can be similar, both consolidated, and then at the end they were not out, basically both of them. Then if you see, Yuvraj Singh was something similar to Maxwell, because Yuvraj Singh came in and picked up 2 wickets in the first inning. Similarly, Maxwell also picked the most important wicket of Rohit Sharma, and throughout the World Cup, you can compare both of their roles actually. So if you see, the role of Maxwell and the role of Yuvraj Singh was very similar. To bowl in the middle or spin in the middle, and in batting, both were like the mainstay of the middle order for both the sides. Then if you see Suresh Raina, you can compare to Josh Inglis. Now coming to bowling, also it is very similar. So if you see, Adam Zampa you can compare with Harbhajan Singh, Zaheer Khan you can compare with Mitchell Stark, Munaf Patel you can compare exactly by the role with Pat Cummins. Like both of them used to come in middle overs and bowl those cutters and into the pitch, half trackers. Like both of them, like very similar type of bowlers. And Srishant with Hazelwood. So all the 11 players are like similar. So this is a very striking similarity that I found. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but both the teams won. Both the teams had similar teams. Both the teams have similar roles of the players, and at the end, like, they both were chasing and they both won. So actually India in this match was like very similar to Australia in 2011 and 2023 World Cup. Another thing I noticed with that I noticed, like, there are some players that are there. Another thing that I noticed is that some players are there which have which are good players, but throughout the 4 years they are under the radar, and right at the end, when it matters the most, they come up and they win the match for their team, especially in knockouts of the finals. So if you see, I am going to take four names that came straight to my mind. The first is Gautam Gambhir in 2007 T20 World Cup final and 2011 ODI World Cup final. He scored the highest number of runs for his team. Then if you see Marlon Samuels, so in 2012 final T20 World Cup final and 2016 T20 World Cup final, he was the top scorer for his team, but throughout he was under the radar. Similarly, Gautam Gambhir was a great player, but he went throughout the period, like 4 year period, under the radar. There was Sehwag, Sachin, all of them were scoring big runs, but when it matters the most, he stood up and in finals he was the top scorer. Similarly, Marlon Samuels in both the matches, T20 finals, the situation was very bad for West Indies, and they had big players like Chris Gayle and Dwayne Bravo, but Marlon Samuels took the responsibility and scored the big runs in both the finals. Then coming to the third player is the most recent, Travis Head. So if you see World Test Championship final recently and the World Cup final recently, in both the matches he was the single-handedly he turned around the match and scored 150 in that Test Championship final and 140 in this World Cup final. So in both the innings, he was like the single person who just turned the match around. And the last one which comes to mind is Ben Stokes. So Ben Stokes in 2019 World Cup final, we all know he won. He was the man of the match, and in recently concluded 2022 T20 World Cup final also he was the man of the match and took his team to the winning. So all these players are like great players, but they go under the radar. They are not like the top player of their side like Virat Kohli or Sachin Tendulkar or somebody like who's always under the radar and not, like in the final they don't come up that well. But this is a striking similarity that I found in these teams who won the World Cup. So I thought I'll just share it with you. Just let me know what you guys think and did you enjoy the video. Thank you.